be sure to cook.
Welcome back to another episode of Be Sure to Cook. Today, we're going to prepare a country fried steak using beef chuck cube steak with a white country gravy. So stay tuned and let's do this. Hey, it's Be Sure to Cook here. We just received this beautiful custom cutting board from cuttingboard.com, and we are so excited to share this with you. Cuttingboard.com specializes in premium sustainable cutting boards, and they went above and beyond with this custom design just for us. It's just not about the look, it's built to last. Look at this board. It's a beautiful board. It's my design and I love it, and it's custom made. Get your board and get your design, and you're gonna love it too. CustomBoard.com has all the best brands like John Boo and so much more. You can even get your own board custom made with your name or your own design. If you're ready to upgrade your kitchen with a cutting board like this, just click the link below. I want to give a big thanks to cuttingboard.com for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to click the link below. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you next time. Okay, I have 3 beef chuck cube steaks that I had my butcher to tenderize. So these are already been tenderized and they're ready to go. All we got to do now is we got to season these babies up. Okay, I've got here just an ordinary paper plate that I'm just using. It keeps me from not washing dishes, which I know I've got a dishwasher, but I'm the old-fashioned kind of girl that just still likes to do it hand done. I kind of getting used to the dishwasher, but not as much as the old way that I just grew up. We didn't have a dishwasher when we grew up. So we always did everything by hand. My kids, my husband, everybody uses besides me. Every now and then, and that means I have to be really tired. I have to have been cooking all day. Okay, so I've got my beef steak here, and I'm going to be seasoning these with a couple of seasons, especially my seasons. My season is the Besureto Season Blend. We're going to start off with that and get that nice and get that sunk in there and have that very flavorful. But since that was kind of like really ooky touching that steak, I had to wash my hands before I touched that seasoning. Okay, that's the first thing. Then I'm going to be adding, to make it even more tender, because it is steak, guys. This is just a steak that the butcher went in and he beat it down for me and made it, he tenderized it and did it good. You know, instead of me coming in here beating it, it's easy to throw it through his machine and just do it. Okay, after I put all the seasoning of my Besureto Seasoning Blend, I'm going to add a generous amount of meat tenderizer, unsalted. But you can get the one that's salted too if you like that one. It's just got a little bit too much salt to me. It seems like it's got more salt than meat tenderizer. I mean, than the tenderizer for the meat. So I get the unsalted kind. The unsalted is better to get. Okay, the next step is, I know that my season blend's got plenty of seasoning, which you just don't need anything else. You can just use mine because it's probably have everything in it. I just like a little bit more seasoning. You don't have to use this. I'm using a little bit more garlic, which is already in my season blend, but I really like garlic. I'm putting just a tad bit more. I'm barely sprinkling this on. I'm doing both sides. This is how I like a lot of flavor. And most people don't like a lot of flavor. They say, oh, that's too much flavor. And here is me. Okay, so I did both sides, right? Yeah. Okay, guys. this is my steak. You can do this 30 minutes for marination, or even a couple of hours, or even overnight. So these have been in here for a good while. So it might be overnight. Never mind. Throw it over. Okay, let's show you how to flour them, bread them, and fry them. So I was going to do a pan fry, but I decided let's do a deep fry. Okay, this is my flour base that I need. And this is already a seasoned flour base that I do with all my seasons. If I'm frying anything, I make this base and I put it up in a container. Some people use it for a bag, a brown paper bag, or you can use it for whatever you shake or whatever you do with your chicken or your pork chops or whatever, even if you're doing like liver, and then you want to make sure you strain it really good. I got about a half a cup of half and half milk. Then I have some Panko seasoned breadcrumbs. Okay, as you know, I'm not putting anything in here because I've already did this from yesterday. I'm going to take it and I'm just going to kind of baste a little bit with flour. Not a lot of flour, just putting it where it can just coat it a little bit, where it don't, where I can have that flour base. I'm going to soak this a little bit into my half and half milk, just a little bit. And once I get it completely covered, I'm going to let it drain, really drain, because you want it to make sure it's really drained. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just burly. It's supposed to be a dry and a wet. I know. I'm just going to make sure I get it. I don't want it to be covered like that where it's just half of it's covered. Just covered all up. That only one time for me. And then lay it over here. And that's my steak. Okay, since I've got this, I always test it by putting a little bit of the crumbs inside there to see if it's ready. I'm going to go ahead and stick this. I don't want it to be really hot, and let this cook on a low and slow. And I'm doing one at a time. Okay, I'm going to take this out. And I want it to cook, but I don't want it to burn my breadcrumbs. And that's perfect. It looks nice. It looks good. I'm going to lay this on a pan. And since I'm cooking the other ones, we're going to stick this in the oven and let it continue to make sure it's completely done. And don't that look good? It's going to be our country fried steak. Okay, so we're going to continue to do what we did last time. And we're just going to keep doing all of these until they're all done. Okay, this is the oil that I cook my steaks in. I'm going to add about a couple tablespoons or big old teaspoons. So I'm going to add 1, 2, that's 3. Can't get a whole full spoon. About 4 tablespoons of, now that's a whole, got 4 tablespoons of oil. And see, you still got some of the little crispy drippings in here. You can take those out if you want. Okay, I'm going to add about 3 or 4 tablespoons of flour. This is the same flour that we kind of like cooked with when we floured our steaks. Now we're going to add a little bit more white flour. So I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of white flour. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to let this toast up. So I want to cook all this flour out. Now if it gets too lumpy, just add about another tablespoon of your cooking oil, which the cooking oil you can use any kind of oil that you fried your steak in. If it's vegetable oil, you can use it. If it's olive oil, you can use it. You can do it any way you want. What's going to be making this delicious and making this really delicious and white looking is you're going to use cream and you're going to use milk. So we're going to pull some cream and milk in here after I feel like I cook. I don't want this dark, but I want it white. So we're going to add about a cup of milk. And we're going to stir this up. And you can add more milk because you want that to thicken. So you can add more milk as you go. I'm going to use a little bit of heavy cream also because I want it to be like a creamy. So I'm going to use a little bit of heavy cream and more milk. I'm making enough for 4 people. Now, if it gets too lumpy, just add about another tablespoon of your cooking oil, which the cooking oil you can use any kind of oil that you fried your steak in. If it's vegetable oil, you can use it. If it's olive oil, you can use it. You can do it any way you want it. What's going to be making this delicious and making this really delicious and white looking is you're going to use cream and you're going to use milk. So we're going to pull some cream and milk in here after I feel like I cook. I don't want this dark, but I want it white. So we're going to add about a cup of milk. And we're going to stir this up. And you can add more milk because you want that to thicken. So you can add more milk as you go. I'm going to use a little bit of heavy cream also because I want it to be like a creamy. So I'm going to use a little bit of heavy cream and more milk. I'm making enough for 4 people. Okay, then to give it a little bit up, because this is my gravy, and then you want to put, some white pepper. Since it's already have a little pepper in there, but I like to do a little bit of both. So what I'm doing is I've got another country gravy pack here, and it's white gravy pack. I'm just going to whip this up with my gravy, giving it a different So I'm going to do both. Whip up theirs, whip up this one, and also when I'm making my own homemade, and give it a little bit so it can become a different taste. Actually, it's a little cut when you don't really want to go through and do it all that. You want that little flavor. So I'm doing a little cheating. Okay, so after I mix my homemade and gave it a little pack, that pack is to give it a little bit more flavor. So, or you could just not and then put your own seasons in it and then mix it up. That's how you make white gravy. Okay, and here is my country fried steak, and I'm going to add my white gravy. I'm going to do a spoon of that, and I'm just going to slather the white gravy right over this. Oh, there it is. Okay, you can do this steak any way you want. If you don't like the breadcrumbs, you do not have to do it. You can just flour it and then fry it up, or you can do it with no flour at all. You can have your country fried steak the way you want it, but this is the way I like mine. Hey, please like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I like to hear from you. Hey guys, I hope you come back for plenty more dishes because guess what? We did not do this alone. I did not do this alone. You did not do this alone. We did this together, you and me. So come back so we can do plenty more dishes. See you next time. Bye. Be sure to cook. Today we're going to be doing meatball subs. We're going to do everything homemade. And I'm going to add a little Creole seasoning inside of there. I'm going to give this a great stir. Look at that, guys. I am good to go. I hear you. Yes. Oh my God, that is wonderful. So that was about 4 to 5. I'm back.